Hi guys, we're going to read Caps for Sale. Here we go, Caps for Sale. A tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. We really like this book. It's told and illustrated by Esphyr Slobodkina. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. Slobodkina. There's the peddler. Remember we talked about a peddler? The peddler is like a person who sells things. Once there was a peddler who sold caps. But he was not like any ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on the top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap. It's right there. Then he had on a bunch of gray caps, and a bunch of brown caps, and a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. There they are. There's that stack of caps. He walked up and down the street, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. And as he went along, he called, "Caps for sale! Caps! 50 cents a cap!" One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street, and he walked down the street. "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" But nobody wanted any caps that morning. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said, and he walked out of town slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He had to walk really slow. That was a really tall stack of caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," he thought. And he sat down very slowly under the tree, and he leaned back a little by little, against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. And then he put his hand to feel if they were straight. First he checked his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and then the red caps on the very top. There they all are. They were all there, so he went to sleep, and he slept for a long time. And when he woke up, he was rested and refreshed. But before standing up, he felt his hand. He felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. Where did all the caps go? I bet you know. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked to the back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree. And what do you think he saw? What did he see? What do you think? I know you know. You know what he saw. On every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. Look at all those monkeys. The peddler looked at the monkeys, and the monkeys looked at the peddler, and he didn't know what to do. And finally he spoke to them. What did he say? You guys know, you can read this along with me. He said, "You monkeys, you," shaking his finger at them, "you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him, and they said, just. This made the peddler angry. He shook both hands at them and he said, You monkeys, you! You give me back my caps! But the monkeys shook both their hands. And they said, zzz, zzz, zzz. Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot. Whoops. And he said, you monkeys, you better give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him, and they said, zzz, zzz, zzz. By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry, and he stamped both of his feet. And he shouted, you monkeys, you must give me back my caps. And the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him, and they said, what'd they say? Zzz, zzz, zzz. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap and he threw it on the ground and he began to walk away. I wonder what's going to happen. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. And what did he do? What did they do? Are they copying him? And all the gray caps and all the brown caps and all the blue caps and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First, his own checked cap. Then the gray caps and the brown caps and the blue caps and then the red caps on the very top. Look at how he has them all sorted out in their stacks, ready to go back on his head. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. And on the fence it says, the end. That's always a good book. Bye, see you later.